Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you
Oh,
hear me clearly?
that's wonderful. I can hear you clearly. Can you see me?
I can see you. Can you see me?
I definitely can, and I know this is about to be serious because you got on the shades. Anytime folks about to talk about some shady stuff, they gotta wear shade. I love what I'm seeing here. I love the background. I love the earth in the background around you. This is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Have my
Let
water.
yeah, please drink some water. Let me make an introduction. I don't know if there's too much light. Let me see. That's too dark. That is that too dark?
Very much so.
and I'm and I'm so feeling it. But I'm gonna see how dark we can get it without it being
Mhm.
too dark. Because there's a certain kind of atmosphere I'm trying to create here.
Mhm.
Let me put on my mic, aka AirPods. Are
Mhm.
your AirPods on?
Mhm.
Are your AirPods on?
Well, mine aren't AirPods per se. I have headphones from a company called Creative.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
Okay. You doing a shout out up in here.
yes.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Okay, so let's get started. Let me do introductions. Welcome everyone to the Yogi and the Yoda. This is a first time episode between myself, Tracy Pierre, and Lolita Augustine. August?
Austin.
Austin, you see, I'm getting better at this. I'm getting better. I'm making you a Haitian because that's what that Augustine is about.
Very much so. Very
But
much
you're
so.
I know you trying to be an honorary Haitian, so it's
There
okay.
you go. It's okay. It's
It's
okay.
okay. So Austin, so thank you so much for being here. This is a Yitdach Yoga special that is going to be coming on to you very often because these are topics that Lolita and I speak about often about an assortment of things. And as you guys know, we are in the middle of the Haiti Yoga Retreat, the 2026 Digital Detox Cultural Immersion. And there's so much to talk about when it comes to this retreat that I want to give everyone space to kind of hear it from somebody that is actually very much so considering coming. She's one of the first people I mentioned the retreat to. And she's like, yeah, I definitely want to be there. And I don't even know if I'm going to come back. So, Lolita, could you introduce yourself and just let them know our relationship and how we know each other? And we'll get started from there.
My thank you for having me. Like Tracy mentioned, my name is Lolita Austin. I'm originally from New York and I'm here in Georgia now. Um, I talk about any and everything, because that's what our world is, any and everything. So I could probably say I know a little something about everything.
That's
Um,
not a lie. That's not a lie. Not a
And
lie.
if what I don't know, I will definitely do the research to find out more. But Tracy and I met, um, I'd say maybe about 2 years ago.
Yes,
Um,
for sure.
as Tracy was my trainer. Um,
Reluctantly, she didn't want a trainer. She did not want. In fact, she later told me, "I got more to teach this lady than she got to teach me about fitness, friendship, and just frolicking around in the damn mind." So yes,
you know, that we have really gotten to know each other, not just beyond that professional level. Um, she knows my family, I know her family, and it has just grown into this beautiful, beautiful friendship. Um, Especially once I found out that Tracy had a Haitian background, and I have a love of Haitian culture, and I've always wanted to visit, even though for years I had always been dissuaded from visiting Haiti.
Mm.
And I think a lot of that comes from um, much of the misinformation that has been shared, particularly here in the West, in the United States, and many of its allied countries, that um, there's a concerted effort to make Haiti, to demonize Haiti. And I've always been the type that, no, that's not the case. Even though I had never stepped foot on the island,
Mhm.
never stepped foot on the island.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I would debate anyone as to what Haiti really is. So I think that's what really brought us together.
Well, I love the framework that you're putting this because I think culture brings a lot of people together. And not only when you share the same culture, I think when you respect people's culture, this is what brings you guys together. And I think I knew from early in our friendship, like early in our training relationship, that we could be good friends. Yet I had
Definitely.
to I had to tread very light because I'm heavy. Like I'm light, like I don't weigh a lot, but I'm heavy in when I feel something, I feel it. When I need to say something, I say it. And I don't always want to express that to people that I can't trust, and I needed to make sure that you understood the type of relationship I wanted to build with you was past the sessions that you invested with, past if you do this many push-ups or if you come to the gym 3 times a week. It was something else that I saw in you. And step by step, you know, we were able to build that. And I'm really happy that we've come today to the Yogi and the Yoda. Can you guys guess which one the Yogi is? And can you guess which one the Yoda is? So, let's talk about this Haiti retreat. This is the topic of today's. It's going to be a lot of our topics, but because we kind of weave in and out of different topics, you're going to hear our thoughts on many different things. Lolita, when you think about Haiti, what's the first? What's your first experience with a Haitian?
Oh, wow.
Because we all
Probably.
have this first. We all have this, and a lot of people will say, "Oh, I don't mess with Nigerians anymore because he put my tire on the wrong way, or they scammed me on WhatsApp." They like, I find it amazing us as
Hmm.
Black people, like we get screwed every day by this capitalistic Caucasian society, and we don't ever say we not going to our 9 to 5. But when it comes to our own people, one person does you wrong, you're like, forget the whole culture, forget the whole this. I'm like, easy. So I just find it funny. So being that you love Haiti so much, I don't think it's because you've had excellent experiences with all Haitians. I think it's something more that you see, especially because you're born and raised in New York, right?
That's correct.
In Brooklyn. I'm talking about real New York. We're not talking about
Yes.
Long Island. We're not talking
No,
about
no.
shout
We're
out to
talking
Lauren Hill
about,
and the
yeah,
Fugees. We're
no,
not we're talking about real New York.
we're talking about the four boroughs that count.
Exactly.
Of course, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens,
Exactly.
and the Bronx.
Before it was gentrified.
Exactly,
Before
exactly.
we knew it was gentrified. It was always gentrified. We just didn't know it.
It was always gentrified. It was always segregated. But
Yeah.
that is the real New York. Those four boroughs. Staten Island, yeah, we don't really they don't really count. They don't really count.
So
No,
what
no, no
what is
shade to Staten Island,
no
but
shade, no
at
shade,
one
no
point
shade.
y'all did want to secede from New York. So I think they should have let you. The only good thing that has come out of Staten Island, in my opinion, is Wu-Tang Clan. That's it.
Wu Tang? Wu Tang is from
Yes.
Staten Island?
Yes. but
Oh,
all of them are not originally from Staten Island. That's where they grew up.
but that's where they got their stat was in Staten Island.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So
But
what is your first experience with a Haitian?
um I think I had mentioned earlier that in terms of my experience with learning about Haiti was the demonization of Haiti. That everyone, because I grew up, my family is from Central America. So I grew
Hence
up
the word
around.
Lolita. Welcome to Lolita.
So I grew up with a lot of people from Central America and the Caribbean. Um, but there was always this almost like hands off when it came to Haiti. Um, and then when I would listen to the news, because I would watch the news with my dad all the time. And it wasn't always by choice because most of the time why I was watching the news was because I got in trouble and I had to sit with him and be quiet.
Damn.
You know?
Okay. I thought it was because we only had three channels back in the day. You know, you had the Cosby Show, you had Mama's Family, you had Unsolved Mysteries, you had Barbara with 2020. We
Right,
knew Oprah,
right.
and then and if you stayed home from school, you could watch Different Strokes and from Green Gables on PBS.
And what was up? Facts of Life, shows like that.
The
But
days,
no,
boo. Those were the days.
no, I had to sit with my dad and be quiet. So, and he was watching the news. And I guess that's why I have such a love of history and politics because they go hand in hand. But back to what I was saying, this was during the era of Papa Doc and Baby Doc. Um, so there was not to say that um, I'm a Haitian expert, but looking back on it now, I understand the politics of it with the rise of the Papa Doc and later his son Baby Doc Duvalier, um, their their time in leadership in Haiti. And everyone always talked about, oh, they do voodoo and they hurt people, and it was always something negative. It wasn't really until I got to college that I really had the opportunity to actually parlay with some Haitian students. And, they gave me a totally different look at what Haiti was. And it really wasn't much different than what I was accustomed to, in terms of being from Central America and being amongst my other friends who were from Jamaica, Trinidad, Martinique. The biggest difference was that, you know, Haitians spoke French.
Yes, yes, yes,
Um,
yes, yes, yes.
but the more I did my own research and I learned the history of Haiti, going back to what I mentioned before with my dad teaching me and having me, look at the news all the time and seeing that relationship between history and politics, I understood how Haiti was the first free Black nation in the Western Hemisphere. That was something they never wanted the rest of the world to know.
No, no. We were
Mhm.
savages, you know?
Right, right.
And it wasn't a revolution, it was a revolt, it was all this other stuff. And with that, why didn't you have a fear? Like if you're hearing all this negative stuff, why didn't you have a fear? And then I also want to ask, growing up, because you're a dark skinned girl, you black. You blackie, girl.
I am.
Did you were you an underdog? Were
No.
you no you so you were you a black sheep? Were you somebody that understood what it meant to be on the outside? Why were you so, because I noticed like I grew up as a black sheep.
Hmm.
I grew up as an underdog in many ways. I mean, I'm not the best reader. I read really slow. I'm a great writer, but don't read really well. And I have all these other challenges when it comes to learning. And in school, I had to work extra hard to do simple tasks. And I'm more hands on than I'm on sit down and read a book. I love audiobooks, and there are different things about me. And then I'm odd. I'm like out of the box kind of people are like, ooh, I don't know what she's going to say next type of thing. So let me hold her, at a distance. So, I want, is it not raining where you are?
Mm-mm. It
The
just got
rain,
it just got overcast.
it is let me tell you something. When I say pouring, it started pouring down so much I thought something had happened and it just started again. So what gave you the affinity to look for another narrative in the negative? Damn, I'm
Um,
deep. I'm deep. Okay. Okay, let's
I
go.
guess a lot of it also came from um my spiritual beliefs that when I was a teenager, I was introduced to Yoruba culture.
Mm,
Um, and I saw through that the Haiti's constant connection, a connection that was never broken, regardless of all the hardships that they went through with enslavement, but um, they kept their connection to to Africa, to the motherland. Um, and honestly, I still believe to this day that it is um, that connection, that spirituality that is attributed to the Haitian people that has kept them this long. Because I think anybody else wouldn't be here. But the
yeah.
fact that even though your Haiti is not necessarily what I would call thriving, but
Mhm.
they are never out the game.
No, they're
Never out.
not. They're still unpredictable. It's said that in Haiti, there are other countries they can watch them through drones. They can watch them through some type of, system of satellites and all these lights, camera, and action. But in Haiti, it's such an unpredictable country. They got to have boots on the ground in Haiti because they're like, I've heard it said where 8 o'clock in the morning, the country could be very calm. Everyone is doing their things. People are selling, rice and potatoes and, bread on the street doing their thing. And by 10, the whole country could be up in war, could be up in battle, could be up in protest. So you don't know what's happening in Haiti. The people, even though you think they're being puppeted, the people are in constant fight. They understand their history. Even though you might call some a sellout, they understand what they're selling out for at what particular time to gain what benefit to go to what angle. So it's not a country of people that all read, although that's another thing in itself. There are more people that don't read in the world than there are more people that are illiterate than there are people that are literate. So that's neither here. That's not a thing about intellect. Yet this is a country where people constantly are in battle for their freedom because they understand that when the Haitian Revolution was won, less than 10% of Haitians, less than 10% of enslaved Africans actually participated in that. So you don't need everyone. Actually, just yesterday I heard they said if 3.5% of people stood up, we could change this whole government. So we don't need everybody. And everybody's worried about getting things done. Why don't you be the one? So, what made you want to, Lolita, participate in this Haiti retreat? What was it? Because there's a lot of it's a full cultural immersion. You know the experience that I've told you about and what's going to go down. What do you feel like you gained from it?
Being in touch with nature. Um, I think that is something that collectively as humans we've lost, but more so as African peoples we've lost that.
Mm.
You know,
We're definitely going to learn survival skills while we're there. That's a big part of it. Learning how to farm, and all of this done in a cultural way, the way the Haitians were doing, learning how to cook Haitian food, ride horses, how to fish, go to the beach, how to ground, walking barefoot on the mountains, learning how to dance Haitian traditional dances, and there are many, and also going to ceremonial voodoo parties because that's a part of what brings the farming and the dance and the culture together. So yes, I'm listening.
absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, that's what interests me, is getting back to nature and being being one, actually communing with those those spirits, that are always all around us.
So
Um,
right now we have a government that has taken away TPS for Haitians as of recently, has been killing like immigrants and even Americans for what they're saying that they're now trying to pinpoint. Were you born here? It's like being having an American passport is not enough. Or were you actually born here? So it's like we have an uprising with so many entities, ice coming left and right and being cold. Maybe that's why they're called ice. What is it that what is the message you think that's being sent to the Haitian people? What do you think is going on? Why now? Why the Biden program said come in, which was also a way to destabilize Haiti too, quiet is kept. And then now you have the closing of TPS and then ICE doing completely illegal stuff left and right. What do you think the message is?
fear, fear, the because I think what has happened in the past 6 years or so, is an awakening. And awakening, people look at that and they're like, when they hear that word awakening, they're like, oh, that's, so woo woo. And,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not that. Awakening is just a questioning of belief systems, something that you have believed in all your life. Like so many of us believed in what was the American dream,
Yes,
that
yes,
you
yes.
you work hard, you
And
go to
quite as kept,
school.
the American dream only works if you're sleeping.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
That you go to school, you get a job, you work hard, you buy a house, get this 30-year mortgage,
White
you
picket
have,
fence,
right, you
2.5
get
kids.
married, you
Mm-hmm.
have kids, and then I believe during the pandemic, because I like to refer to it as the Great Reset,
Mm, mm.
people began to question so many things,
Yes, 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 yes,
so
yes.
many things that had been the quote unquote norm for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Like
the whole
going into work,
right, right.
9
When
to 5.
you could do the same thing that you're doing in the office, you could do at home.
I
You
question
know,
the churches. I question the black churches. I question churches in general at a time where people would need them the most, whether it was for shelter or food or a place of prayer. They have huge cathedrals and buildings and space. You have ample space to create sermons after sermons and lectures to give people space to come in to be 6 feet apart, but they chose to stay closed and collect tithes from home. And still to this day, some of these churches have never opened. So I question even the churches during this time when people would have needed them the most.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, there was recently a young lady did oh, I hear, oh, the weather's changing. The weather's
It,
changing. I may
is
have
it
to go in a
is
minute.
it raining?
No,
Do
it's
you
not raining. I just hear, I hear thunder.
Okay, okay, okay.
Mm,
Well, we won't be here too long. I think we're
mhm.
going to spend another couple of minutes. I do want to ask, what about this digital detox? When you hear digital detox, dynamic digital detox, what do you expect?
Put your phone down.
Stop being phony and put your phone down.
Yeah, put your
Yes,
phone down.
put your
That's
phone
it.
down.
That we are right now, we're digitally enslaved,
Mm, 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 mm. Digitally enslaved. I've never heard this.
right? Because the majority of people, if you leave your house and you forget your phone, I don't
Mm.
care how far you are down the road, you're gonna go back and get it.
Lolita, stop saying that. That's not true. That's not true. People are not
Oh,
going to
it's
even get out
true.
the driveway without the phone. They wouldn't, before they get out the driveway, they would notice. Right now, sitting here, I realized I was at a networking event. I realized I forgot my jacket. I wouldn't have done that with my phone. Like a couple of, besides the GPS and besides so many other things, before I got out the parking lot, I would have remembered my phone. So forget about how far you get. You wouldn't even get far without, knowing, noticing
I'm
your phone.
trying to give people some grace,
Give
by
me the
saying how far you'll get, but no, you will not go anywhere without your phone, you
no.
know. And most of the time, people will rather sit and scroll on the phone than have a conversation with someone.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. My daughter noticed that. I'm telling you, maybe about, she's 23 now, I think. I think maybe about, I don't know, a decade or so ago. She's like, Mommy, we'd be on the train in New York. She's like, Mom, they're on their home screen just flipping apps. They're not actually really on the phone. Like nobody's on their phone for real. It's not like they're doing something. They're literally just flipping apps, like basically trying to distract from making eye contact with people to look like they're busy in case somebody says something to them or someone wants a seat or someone whatever, but they're not on their phones. I was like, damn.
Hmm. Yeah. And it's just another way of keeping us distracted and divided.
Yes, it is.
Because the more you engage with the content on social media, the more reinforcing content that you're going to receive. So you're never getting a um another opinion. It's
Yes.
always more of the same, more of the same, more of the same. And that, I think, that has contributed to the radicalization of many young people. You know,
Depression, envy, shame. Like they're like, oh my goodness, my friend is doing so much better, but look how good they look. And I'm like, are you sure that's them? Are you sure that's the life they live? I see the pictures, but what's happening on the commercial break? And they're not at the timeshare and at the resort. What's the rest of their life looking like? After the picture was taken, what were they doing after that? Like they think
exactly.
it's real. Like, no, I know this person. It's real. Like, okay, it's real for that moment.
I kind of look at it the same way I look at scripture, that, people love to quote particular scriptures,
Mhm.
but no one ever talks about, well, what was said right before
Oh
that
my God,
and
ain't
what
that the
was said
truth?
right after
You
that.
know what, Lolita? This comes into play when somebody takes the scripture and really brings it out of a box that you're not familiar with. Because most people back in the day, especially Catholic Church, and I grew up in a Catholic church, they'll pretty much, quote the same things all the time. Okay, Jesus threw off the table. He said he didn't want any selling. Mary Magdalene was at his feet, or Judith betrayed him, or the burning bush, or Cain and Abel, and Cain, we hear the same scriptures all the time. But the thing is, when somebody takes an unknown scripture, or they take a known scripture and they flip it in a way that we didn't know, or they read a little bit more past the pages that someone else read, you're like, damn, what the hell was really being taught here?
Yeah, it takes on a whole
Yes,
different
it
meaning,
does. Yes, it does.
whole different meaning.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's the same thing with, these little snippets that you're seeing, you know, online, that
Mm-hmm.
you getting one little piece of it, but but you're not seeing it in its proper context.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
You know, it's the same thing, like I said, politics and history. You can't look at anything that's going on politically right now at any time without looking at its historical context. If you don't look at it historically, you won't understand why we're where we're at.
It's not a bubble, it's a Bible. Like every story is connected to one another.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That it's all connected. Just like we're all connected. Nothing happens in isolation.
Just like the body. I mean, the body is this kinetic change. So when you think you're hurting your knee and you think, okay, it's only affecting the knee, no, but there are ligaments and tissues that's going up from the knee to the calf, coming up to the quads, the hamstrings, going to your back. It's moving. It's not, it's only separated through fascia, but this is not something to be like, oh, my body is separate. No, your body is one, you know?
Exactly.
So yes, yes.
Exactly. And if you look at, I know we're jumping around, but
I'm
if you
loving the
look
jumping around. We're catching our cadence. We're catching our cadence. I'm okay with it.
but if you look at nature and you look, inside the human body, so many things are very similar, very
Interesting.
similar. You know, like the neurons, the nervous system looks like tree branches,
Hmm.
and it's our communication system.
This is funny because I do a twin heart healing meditation, and towards the end they'll ask us, to focus on our root chakra, and then imagine from the root chakra that you have roots extending 10 feet down to the earth, to Mother Nature.
A
Yeah.
beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing when you realize that as a human being, you are part of nature. You're
Yes, yes,
not
yes.
separate. We have been made to believe that we
Mhm.
are separate.
And that's
We
what the goats and the animals do for me, just to watch the way they live. It it shows me the truth of where we're supposed to be as humans. Like it mimics it when I watch them. I'm like, it's that emotional healing that people get from animals. You just kind of watch them
Mhm.
and you realize, wow, it could all be so simple, but you'd rather make it hard, like Lauren said, you know?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But I think that's one of the things that I hope will be um, a takeaway for the people who participate in the Haiti experience
Mhm.
is being able to slow down enough that you see that you're part of this. You're part of this grand creation called Earth.
Yes, yes,
That,
yes, yes, yes.
when with regard to Christianity in particular, that they say, man was supposed to go out and have dominion. Dominion is, people seem to confuse dominion with dominate.
Mm,
Dominion
mm.
means to care for,
Yes,
not dominate.
yes.
So, everyone, when they say, oh, we have to, we're in a constant battle with nature. Yes, that's the problem, because you shouldn't be battling with nature. You
Especially
should be
something you
working
cannot
with it.
win.
You
Yes, something
can't.
you can't win.
You
You
can't.
cannot win. You can't, because
Mhm.
the earth will be here past extinction. So the earth, it will. We're gonna be all right. The earth is gonna be all right.
Exactly.
It's gonna be all
Exactly.
right.
That's what the earth
Actually,
says
the
all the
earth
time.
would thrive a lot better without humans. We actually make really good manure, so it would actually thrive much better. But if we didn't have the insects and the bugs here, we wouldn't make it past like maybe a year.
Hmm.
And if we didn't have the sun, only a couple of days we would sustain this place. So there are so many things that we think are in the way or a problem. I need suntan, or oh my goodness, the sun is out, I can't go out, or there's bugs and mosquitoes, I can't believe this. We need to kill them all. We don't hardly see no bees anymore. Sometimes mosquitoes are, oh my goodness, the pollen. We don't respect the life cycles, how the pollen and everything that balances out. And when there's too much pollen, it's because there's an imbalance that we've created. So these are the things that we're going to learn during this Haiti retreat, how to be in communion with nature and to actually be humble and sit down. I'm going to let you guys go for today. Lolita, do you have any final words? Because we will be back again very soon. We have so much to talk about, and I could tell we're trying to. We talk a lot about different things. We're trying to create a balance, trying to figure out what it is, how it is, and where we're going to bring it. So I'm enjoying this.
So, so am I. So am I. And I really hope that, we get feedback so that, we can talk about or discuss the topics that you're curious about.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Um,
We need to know
like
what
I
you guys
said,
want to hear.
I can talk about, pretty much anything. And what I don't know, I am happy to do the research so that we can talk about it.
Yes,
Mm. But I hope you guys will be back. It's been a pleasure.
yes.
And let's do this again soon.
Thank you so much, Lolita, and thank you so much, all of you. This is going to be happening so often. You guys are going to get so tired of us, yet you guys are going to be so rejuvenated because the energy that we share, it only gets better and better. So please join us again for the Yogi and the Yoda. I hope you guys are having fun. And if you don't know what or Yoda is, look up those words and come back. We'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye.